What's up, Leslie and Stu?
What's up?
Just walked in from walking the pup, made it with 60 seconds to spare.
Oh, I'll be doing that in about 2 seconds and in the rain, no less.
Walking the dog in the rain.
Well, we're just talking like quick pee outside and back in, but yeah.
I don't know. We just let him out back for that.
Well, I don't have a fenced in yard, so I can't. I mean, I could probably trust her, but sometimes she
If
escapes and does that and comes right back in, but I can't get that lucky twice.
if we weren't fenced in, I wouldn't do it. He's a sprinter.
Oh yeah, mine isn't unless she sees another dog or something, so I just, can't trust it.
Can't trust it. Yeah, he's my little runner. But then when we walk, he stops like it took 30 seconds or 30 minutes to do a lap around the block.
Oh my gosh. I know the smelling is crazy.
Everything. Smell. Oh, I see something. Oh. And then
Yeah.
he passed the garbage truck. He
Huh?
got very not happy. There was a garbage truck there. How's
Yeah,
everyone?
I had a dog that didn't like the sound of like the FedEx truck or the UPS truck, but like other trucks didn't matter. Like, so I don't know if it's like the motor or what.
Yeah, garbage truck triggered him. Oh, we got Dale. Dale, you got a workout in today. You're on my good list. Don't be quiet now. I like calling on people when their cameras are off.
I'm still working and my phone's charging, therefore you're like under the desk, so you probably don't want the camera on. It wouldn't be a good show.
Well, that's all right there. That's all right. Sue's always still working when we're on. I think
It's
we're either gonna be a small crew tonight or I shared that invite way too late.
well, I know Beth and Jackie. Beth is doing pickleball and Jackie is working still. So,
So I should get a random notification that they finished a workout.
well, Beth, yes, Jackie might be skipping. I'm calling her out on it right here. I said it. She said she might have to pick between sleeping and today's workout, so maybe that'll be tomorrow instead. I don't know.
Sleeping and today's workout.
Well, that's a hard decision.
Larry, after the weekend, I feel like you'd go sleeping.
You're right. You're exactly right on that one.
The 5 a.m., 4:30 a.m. wake up call has been very difficult this week. I'm just gonna put that out there. I'm not here for it. It was easier on the 3 a.m. wake up call for the race. Now I'm just like, I want the
Yeah, the
sleep.
2 a.m. wake up call was fine. Got back here and, well, I can't complain. I mean, I've got a 7:30 wake up call every morning.
You stayed on site and you woke up at 2 a.m.
Yeah, I had to eat.
Hair, makeup, all the fun stuff.
Yeah, right. Hair would be nice.
Hair would be nice. What do you eat before you go into do a Disney race?
I will have a bagel with some peanut butter and I'll have a Nutri-Grain bar
All right.
and then water
That's
and water
close.
and water and water.
That's close to what my wife does. She does rice cakes and some peanut butter now, but it was a bagel and peanut butter. I cannot eat before I go into a run. This is why I have to work out. I get acid reflux if I eat beforehand and things start bubbling. So that's not fun.
Yeah, well, when you're standing in the corrals like I am for an hour after Group A starts,
I stayed there for a very long time after
I was in G.
you were in G.
Yes, I was. I had when I started the half, I had a 7 minute head start above the ahead before the balloon ladies.
That would give me anxiety.
Give,
I would
yeah,
we're going out to best damn race on a whim Saturday. I might have mentioned this last night. My brain is still princessed out. Best damn race this Saturday to attempt to get a solid proof of time that pushes us from C to B. I should bring Mr. Adam Earl with me to be my pacer for that. He'd motivate me to get there.
He'd do it.
I figured he would. He would come. I can't have CC chase me down for 13 miles. I can flex in and out of that, but it's just not. I'm not gonna survive.
Reach out to him.
If he wants to do a little run, just sign him up. Push me to the finish line. Kate's pacing somebody else. I'm not gonna ask her. She's going for like an 850 something, and no, thank you.
What are you looking to hit, Coach Tom? What pace?
Whatever qualifies for a B Corral. I don't even want A. I just want B. I think it's 210 on the half. It might be 208. I'm more of a cruiser on the anything like half marathon and up. I cruise a little more. I like to push it a little on the 5Ks and 10s. Five's the sweet spot where you can just kind of beat yourself up. Then I got Winter. Anybody doing Winter Park 10K? Any of you local people? I know it's a popular one, Park Avenue 10K. Might not even have anybody local on here tonight. I got a couple locals to Orlando. Got another one in 2 weeks after. Keeping myself moving. That brings me. I got like two short topics I'll cover tonight. One that I threw in a whole little PDF book that I've been, little ebook I've been working on behind the scenes. But Ryan asked me, and Ryan's not even on the call. He wanted me to talk a little bit more about active recovery. Isn't the difference, active recovery, why it's good or what it is? Let you know if I need an editor. I'm not even sure what that means.
Oh, I was a book editor for 6 years. Yeah.
Oh, I do a little couple short ones, but I will definitely take you up on that. How are you feeling after the race before I dive in?
Great. Yeah. No, I was totally fine. Um, yeah, I was really happy. I was doing intervals. I told Tom this, but I was doing intervals and the people who I was supposed to run with ran off ahead of me and I beat them.
Nice.
So,
That's always a score.
yes.
It's always a score. Some of you might know Brandon, the hash brown guy. He dead last started, and I saw him fly by me, and I was just like, "Good Lord, good Lord, flying by me." He was just like lightning. One day I'll get to that point. Not anytime soon. Miss MJ, where have you been all my life?
I'm actually still at school, so
Oh, you're still at school.
I'm making copies. Yes.
So yeah, you don't even have to talk if you're still at school. I could just tell everybody that you've opted to do Dopey 2026 instead of 2027. And
I'm
then
thinking about it. The aliens are also very tempting.
we just put that out into the universe that you're going to do it.
Did you see the idea of doing the aliens for the 5K
Where was that?
on the Rise and Run podcast?
missed that.
So
I
said
saw that.
if we do that, that could be the convincing factor.
All right. I could definitely go aliens. Is Bob going to be the claw?
That was the idea. Yeah.
The claw is your master.
He hasn't agreed to it yet, but
You got to do it. I was trying to think of what else could you do with that many people. Like that's hard.
yeah.
101 Dalmatians, perfect fit.
Yeah. And especially since the 5K is kind of like outer space sci-fi themed, the aliens would work.
That's right. That's right. I didn't even think of that. I like it. I like it a lot. All right. I'm gonna dive a little through active recovery. So active recovery, it's staying moving versus inactivity. I know Ryan, while he's not on the call, he asked about this because when I saw Ryan on the course, I think his foot fell asleep and he was riding the struggle bus with a little dead foot. And what the heck can he do the next day to get moving? Because after that 10K, he was just not, he wasn't enjoying life too much. So active recovery, getting the body moving and trying to get the blood flowing without killing yourself while still recovering. So like benefits, you're just getting the blood flowing, the soreness is going to go down, keeps everything flexible. Anybody ever done a half marathon and then sat on their butt right after for the whole day?
No,
No, you go to the parks.
I go to Epcot for lunch.
That's all right. What'd you have?
I went to Via Napoli, so I had spaghetti actually.
I'll give you a break on that one today. But Larry got active recovery, walked around Epcot, kind of eliminates the toxins out of the body, reduces that lactic acid buildup, and just helps you stay consistent. Whereas, I'm guessing Ryan sat down and things are pretty sore and life sucked a little bit, but that's more passive recovery. So you're sitting, you're laying in bed, you're just letting the body stay completely at rest. I made that mistake my first half marathon, which was Star Wars 2017. I went home, I laid on the couch, and I fell asleep for probably 2 or 3 hours. And then I tried to get on Larry's level and go down to Epcot. I was living a little closer then. Took an Uber back there because I was a little younger and was planning on making some bad decisions after my first half marathon. And I went to get out of the Uber, and my hamstrings completely locked up. I could not stand straight. I could not get myself moving, grooving. It was absolutely awful. And I hated life. It took me from the Uber drop off all the way to the opposite side of Spaceship Earth before they started to loosen up. But it just felt like I was getting jabbed with blades. Not fun. Has anybody ever had that happen before? Oh my,
I had problems last year after the 10 mile. My legs stiffened up, and I went into Magic Kingdom and could barely walk as it was.
it's not fun. Not fun. But you probably made the better call by keeping moving around. Pace the Disneyland half, then had to drive for 3 days. That sounds absolutely awful. Absolutely not fun at all. I will not sign up for a 3 hour car ride. I was not even looking for the plane ride. Dopey to Disneyland last year. Best types of active recovery. So cool down after a workout. Best times to do it, I guess. Cool down after a workout. You know, blood's already flowing. We've talked about that before. Just bringing your body back down into homeostasis. You can even kind of jog it out if you want, like a light jog, just to kind of ease it in and try to jog in reverse what you normally do. Let your heart rate cruise down during that. Another one I would actually recommend in Ryan's case where he had that bad foot, biking after a workout. So just keeping the knees moving, not too much pressure on the foot. I wouldn't go actually bike. I'd go stationary bike for that. Just keep it like loose, moving things around, get some fluid into the joints. You can do it. You can even do it during interval training. So, I know, do I have on here? Let's see. I don't know, guys. Some people with a little Orange Theory background, but that's what your base is. That's where your green zone running is. You're not killing yourself, but you're breathing it down and getting that heart rate back in that green zone, maybe into the blue zone if you're really conditioned, but like letting everything come down. And then definitely want to do it on days after strenuous activity. So that goes back to like Epcot, where it's like, yeah, I will not sit down. I will not sit down after a half for the next day or two as much as possible just to keep moving. Good types of active recovery, like outside the box, outside the bike. Um, Walking is probably number one. It's the easiest, it's the most adaptable, but swimming would probably be my second favorite. I love going into the pool afterwards and just pumping the legs out, going a little up and down, and then light swimming. Any kind of active recovery should be super light, should not kill you. Yoga. Some people in my Thursday crew, I committed to doing yoga this year a little more, and it is now 1 month and 26 days, and I am at zero yoga workouts. So I really need to.
Right?
What? You
Can I take it all off there?
you called me out on not doing yoga? I don't even know if she knows she's off mute. Oh man, I switched my screen there, and Heidi's at the beach. I'm jealous of you, Heidi. I know you're not actually there. Switch my little view. But yoga is a good one. I will get on that eventually. I do want to up my flexibility big time this year. The way I am doing it is another way you can go with active recovery. Myofascial release. Mess with the foam roller. If you're not already messing with the foam roller, you need to be messing with the foam roller. Dale's nodding. You do the foam roller, Dale?
Yeah, almost every night.
You do it at nighttime.
Yeah.
You find it makes it easier to wind down.
Yeah, it's kind of part of my wind down routine. A little stretching and a little foam rolling. I've had some issues with my IT band and my outside of my calf pulling on my knee. So that helps because when I sleep, it tends to act up.
Those are like the two least fun places to do it.
And yeah,
Least fun are going to be the the calves and the IT band.
hurts so good.
The calves, if I go get a massage, that's the part that makes me cringe. It's the calves. I have just super tender calves all the time. So I don't live for it. So you'll do that tonight. Makes it a little easier to sleep, I'm sure. Definitely
Yep.
want to do that either after the workout or at night. No walk today? I'm still looking at you, Dale.
No, I got one in earlier. It was very nice here today. So,
You've changed the scenery on me.
oh, it's just my living room with the
Oh,
blinds.
we moved to the living room. He's sitting after his workout. If you're somebody that, I hate to say complain because soreness happens, but if you find yourself like, I'm sore a lot, you got to start doing a little bit of active recovery. Does not have to be a 30 or a 60-minute yoga routine. 5 minutes is better than 0 minutes. 10 minutes is better than 5 minutes. But I said it before, you don't want to, most people don't want to live their life like constantly in the gym and having to work out. But if you get pain, nip it now before, before hitting 85 years old, then it's a struggle to get out of bed. That's when it gets really, really not fun. Then my other little topic. Does anybody have questions on active recovery? No. This is supposed to be like group chatting time tonight. So I'm gonna blow through this next portion and then make y'all talk. I don't want to be the only one talking tonight. Don't want to be the only one. Beating the bloat. So I'm still working on this. So I'm just gonna go over my notes and kind of use it to make sure I got all my headspace where I am. But this one came up. Got somebody who's on the journey. She will not be with us here tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Are you here? Are you here? I don't think so. But was seeing the scale go down, 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 and then up anytime she wasn't very consistent. So it looked a little something. I'm not gonna pull hers, but I pull a little, I get an example one. Where's my example? Let's go with this. And down, down, down. Nope, that's not a good one. Yeah, let's share this one. Gonna share. Actually, that's got a name on it. I don't like sharing your stuff unless I ask you to first. But it goes down, 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 up, up, up. Actually, I can do this and zoom in my screen. Fixed. Problem solved. Problem solved. Hid the name. Now I can share it. There we go. Now we share. So it doesn't show any names. But a little bit of down, then a spike up. A little more down. This was vacation, so I don't count it. I'm not even gonna, go into that part. We let loose. That's how you know this is somebody not from the country because vacation was a month long. In the US, nope, we're getting a week. And then back down and now, but trickle down, spike up, trickle down, spike up. Just see a quick look at it. Usually, 9 times out of 10, the body has normal fluctuations. 1 to 2, sometimes even 3 during the day. It's gonna pop up. It's gonna pop down a little bit. It's up and down, up and down. But again, want the trend line to always go lower. So with this person that asked, like, I'm on this journey. Once I get to my goal weight, once I get to the end zone and the finish line, how do we, does that mean I can't have the burger or beer or it's going to go up? No. Your body your body gets used to, you know, healthier foods. So less inflammatory foods as you're going a more healthy route and you take those in. I've talked about myself with the Chinese food before. I can gain 5 pounds off Chinese food and just look super puffy. So things you can do to kind of beat the bloat and simple, easy tips that can ease bloating. Does anybody ever just say that? I feel bloated. Like you can throw it in the chat, you can yell it off
For sure.
for sure. Thank you, Jen, for making me not the only one talking tonight. We had a couple of this chat. Val feels the bloat
Yes.
more times than I'd like to admit. I like it.
Yes.
Yo, the Tahoe Prosperity Center looks nice.
Do you want to come to Tahoe this summer for Jeff Galloway's camp?
Send me the details.
I will find out about him.
Send me the details. I will.
I would love to have you, Tom.
I will definitely look into that.
Let me make sure, because but I'll talk to you offline.
You talk to me. Well, all right, yeah, let me know. If not, I'll schmooze his son. I don't have to schmooze his son too much. Well, we got crunchies. Somebody's eating. We got crunchies. So yeah, feeling bloated, normal. I feel extra bloated after the race weekend, and that's probably from going to Whispering Canyon. Stuff that I'll chat about here will be more natural ways to support your digestion and get you back to feeling comfortable. So think along the lines you've been eating healthy, and then it's your birthday. You had cake and you had some stuff you're not used to, and you're just feeling puffy. They'll also be good for things like, if you struggle with gut health is an annoying one because it gives you that bloat and you feel bogged down and weighed down. Digestion issues, so acid reflux, which I get because I am a high coffee drinker. As you can tell, I'm still wide awake after a 4:30 wake up call and a long day. Things like that, getting that puffiness and digestion. Season's not on the call, but she would say, or when you have gas, she would let us know. It's a natural thing, and we gonna we gonna look at things that can kind of support that. Probably the number one, and I know we just did a hydration challenge, but hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. At least 8 glasses a day of water. There's some science there that says, or there's some people out there that say, well, when you drink coffee, it does dehydrate, cause you to go to the restroom, but there is still liquid water in there that you're replacing it with. So maybe add 1 glass if you're having some coffee there, but you don't need to go overboard if you drink some coffee for the day. But staying hydrated is going to help the body break down the food effectively, makes it easier to absorb nutrients, and definitely prevent that bloating. It's going to flush a lot of that nastiness out. Does anybody use one of those fancy water bottles? I just have this. Well, you can't even see it. It's weird. And by fancy water bottles, I have a friend that has one with a little light on it, and it's tied to an app, and it lights up every time he's supposed to drink water and buzzes on his phone. It's a little much for me. I think I can manage the water drinking without that.
That sounds like something right up my alley.
You're a tech person. You would love that because it would track all your intake for the day, and you're a numbers person.
Yeah.
I'm shocked you don't have that.
Me too.
I feel like you probably have the big one where it's like, 1 cup, great start, and then 2 cups.
Okay. I did just recently buy one of those, but only because it was like cheap. But normally I don't take it to school. I have a little 24-ounce that I take to school. Sometimes a 32-ounce.
Sometimes 32?
Yeah. And then I will like the goal is to then do another one when I get home.
But how old are your kids?
8th grade.
Oh, eighth grade. So they're fine if you leave them for like 2 minutes because you got to take a potty break.
Oh yeah, and the teacher next door will cover for me. We do
All
that.
right. All right. Because
Yeah.
that would be my concern. Drinking water,
Oh, yeah.
drinking that much water and you can't leave your
Yeah.
situation. Ooh, a red sparkly 40-ounce Stanley. Hey, girl. I like that. I like that a lot. Oh, yeah, there's all sorts of fancy water bottles out there. Just hydrate regardless. Sound like I wish Chris was on the call tonight. Sound like CC. Hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. Number two, slow down the eating. I talked about that with digestion before. Like chew your food. And this is sometimes pot calling the kettle black. Like I come from Italian family and it was like if you don't eat and my dad worked a very laborious job, so he was eating for fuel and function a lot, plus he lifted. And big dude, like if you
Aren't
didn't,
those supposed to be in bunkers?
who's in a bunker? Okay, I just pop in and mute people from time to time that throw my train of thought off, but we got this. I'm glad you're here. So yeah, dad was a big dude, and if you didn't eat before he did, if you didn't get to the food, it was gone. So I was just constantly like shoveling food, growing boy, and you eat too fast, you take larger bites, and you're chewing the bite less, makes it harder for your body to break down the food. That's where chewing is the first step of the digestive process. So you're breaking it up to make it easier to break up on the inside. And when you gorge your food like that, that's going to give you a little indigestion, heartburn. You tend to overeat a little more. That's how I grew up. That's why I used to be heavier and a lot of bloating. And you probably absorb a little bit less of the nutritious side of things. So drop the fork, take a little breather. That's been my new deal. One thing I have definitely succeeded with this year is dropping the fork for a little bit. I will not tonight. I'm going to be completely honest and candid. My show is on. My guilty pleasure show comes back at 8. So at 8 p.m., I already ordered my guilty pleasure show food. So I got Survivor and Hot Taco coming. So there will be tacos and Survivor. I will not slowly eat that. So even though I'm doing well on it, we can botch it every once in a while. No other Survivor fans on here?
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Every
I
season.
watched it a long time ago, but I haven't watched the more recent season.
I want to go on it.
Who was the
Love
naked
it.
guy? Was it the first season?
I watched it a long time ago. Yeah, that was
Yes.
the very first season.
Yeah, a really long time ago.
Richard Hatch, the tax evasion guy.
Yes.
You don't have to. After my stint on Wheel of Fortune, that's my reminder to pay the taxes afterwards and make sure the accountant knows about it because I don't want to end up like him. Oh
After
man,
you buy us all beers at Springtime Surprise, right?
yeah, you
I
found
mean,
me.
I guess you should pay the taxes before.
Hey, and now I'm hooked up. Now I don't have to wait in the beer line. All you got to do is dress like Hala, and she doesn't make you wait in line anymore. I almost felt guilty, but then I looked at the line. I didn't. So now I got a message. I got a message.
So awesome.
It was awesome.
Oh,
Just seeing her face.
Oh,
I'm gonna have to message Jen about Survivor now. I'm in a Survivor pool and it's way too stressful. It's got like there's now a Google form I have to fill out before every episode. And there's a group chat and it's just a lot for me. I like the show, but it's a lot.
I love that idea.
You love that idea?
Uh,
Well, I will get you the information on it. The group chat tends to be a lot.
Sounds
Number,
good.
number 3, stay active. So I think one thing people just love to do after you eat, you want to sit down and relax, get moving, regular like activity right after, walk, you know, nobody wants to go like swimming after dinner, but a little gentle movement, just like the active recovery, stimulates the digestion, reduces gas, and gonna make you potty a little more regularly, and that's what we want. We want to get that stuff, get it gone. So 10-minute walk after meal, simplest way to do it. I knew I had y'all, so I didn't get to do that tonight because I got Survivor at 8, and I know I'm gonna eat 7:30-ish, and we got Coda's not. That's why he took his walk beforehand. Really easy one to do. Increase your fiber. So anything high fiber, fruits, veggies, legumes, however you want to say it, and whole grains. Just watch when you're counting your carbs. Make sure you're looking at that dietary fiber number in there, taking into account. So that just supports digestion. And we talked about both types of fiber, soluble, insoluble, but keeps things regular, helps maintain a little heavier weight. Plus, if you're there's some conditions that might get a little worse if you don't have some fiber. So, I mean, like hemorrhoids, diverticulitis, this you want to keep that food from going through smooth. Let's just put it at that. So, fiber definitely shown to lower cholesterol and control the blood sugar. So that's more wins and cuts down on CV disease. I just realized I don't have my hat on tonight. Whoa. Maybe I have been up too late today. So cuts down on cardiovascular disease and cancers. Gradually try to add too much or add a little bit. Don't add too much at first. If you're somebody that you track your macros, you look at everything and you take in like 5 grams of fiber, please don't go to 50 tomorrow because yeah, your significant other or your kids or whoever is just gonna curse at me like, yeah, it's not gonna be fun for your tummy, and it's not gonna be fun for you. Generally, 25 to 28 grams for women under the age of 50, 31 to 34 for men under 50. If you're over 51, women should be about 22 grams and men 28 grams. So I pulled those before we got on here. That's general guidelines. Don't go too crazy on it. Otherwise, you could end up a little bloated. We get the reverse effect. Smaller, more. What's everybody's meal frequency? What's how many times a day do we eat? You could throw it in the chat. Are you a one day, one time a day, 2 times? You struggle, you want to eat 19 times a day? Throw a number out there. 3 in snacks. 3 all day long. Val, I can see your meals. I know you don't eat it all day long. I look at your meals pretty religiously. Yeah, 67 was
But I
200.
have like 7 million snacks.
All right, snacks. Chris, 3 meals, 3 snacks, at least 2 times a day. There's no right answer on this, and I feel the gym bro gods like rolling in there, they're just, oh my God, grumbling that's a big, well, what we call bro science thought process that you have to eat. You got to eat 6 meals a day, 6 meals, spread them out. That way your body's always fed, always fueled, and you're always anabolic. The only person I would say, I should just watch, I got an Instagram reel on this, but Matt probably knows him. Matt, you heard of Ronnie Coleman, right? I think I talked about him on here. See if Matt's gonna be quiet tonight. Maybe he didn't hear. All right, so
No, I heard lightweight baby.
Lightweight baby. I knew you know. I knew we
Yeah.
talked about that before. Ronnie Coleman was, I want to say, 7-time Mr. Olympia champion, like 300 pounds of solid muscle, and also a police officer. So if you ever got pulled over by this man, probably the most terrifying person to ever see walk up to your window. Pretty imposing guy. And I was just watching a thing with him, and he was talking about it. He only wanted to be assigned to things going on right near his house because he was on such a strict every 2 hours he ate. So he was able to stop home, heat up a meal, and be in and out within 10 minutes, and he'd eat 2 hours later, eat 2 hours later. This is somebody that's trying to fuel their body to be 300 pounds. That's a job, is is to maintain that much weight. I want to say it's like 6,000 calories a day or something like that. Crazy numbers. You'll hear a lot of gym people say, "Oh, you have to eat, 6 times a day." It all comes down to the calories. All comes down to the calories. If one is more your bag, 1 to 2, you're good on that. If 2 to 3 is good, you're good on that. If we have problems with bloating, I would say smaller, more frequent meals. That's the only time I'd caveat that. Generally prevent you from overeating. I tried the intermittent fasting thing and I found when I opened that window, it was like I opened the floodgates. I went, do I think it was 18 hours on, 18 hours no eating, 6 hours on. And those 6 hours, it was just like, I got to get all the food in. I got to get all the food in, and I'd lose track. It wasn't as easy for me to track during that period because I was just like, I'll take in anything I can. So, if you're doing fasting, you can still make it work within your windows, but smaller, more frequent meals definitely will help reduce bloating. Also keeps you balanced, energized throughout the day. Anybody eat and go right to bed?
No,
No?
no,
Larry, I thought you would have been my guy that did do that.
no. I'll stop eating about 2 or so hours before I go to bed.
All right,
I'll have some hummus or something in about 9, and I'll be going to bed about 10:30 or 11 o'clock.
All right. I'm good with that. Stay upright after eating. So resist the urge to lie down right after a meal. Stay upright at least 30 minutes. That was a lot of my guilt when I got the bad acid reflux, when I had a really bad stint with it. It was that, the coffee, and the dark chocolate was just lighting me on fire, plus spicy foods. I love spicy foods. So things that, coffee loaded with antioxidants, dark chocolate, the cacao, also antioxidants, healthy stuff, spicy food, little bit of thermic effect on your metabolism. So you're not going to burn by eating all spicy foods. You're not going to burn an extra 500 calories a day, but you might get a small little uptick, 10, 15, 20 calories if you're lucky, extra burn. There's positives to all of it, but too much of a bad thing sets off that acid reflux. So sitting upright, 30 minutes, going to prevent the reflux, support the digestion. That's why I said 10-minute walk after a meal, definitely beneficial. Manage your stress. I feel like this is one where a lot of people probably miss the mark. Miss the mark big time because life is flipping stressful. The world is stressful. That's one of my hardest when I'm working one-on-one with somebody and I'm like, I know you're going through it. I know you're absolutely going through it. I know a lot of, know someone's story. So that's where I got to work a little bit more with empathy and say, all right, we did this. I don't ever want to be a stress on someone's life while they're trying to better themselves. So part of my gig is finding ways to help people manage the stress. So exercise is a big one. That exercise is my de-stress. That is why I start every morning with some kind of movement, whether it's a little bit of strength training, a little bit of running, something, and just get the body moving because I know that just no matter how the day goes from there, I'm like, all right, I did the thing I'm in, one of the things I enjoy most. So exercise is a huge one for reducing stress. Meditating. I'm a person who has a hard time quieting the mind. I have tried every app. I've tried books on meditation and just if I do it in the sauna though, I found I can kind of clear the head just a little bit. And yeah, meditation's good. I know it's MJ, I feel like you probably journal because you write everything else down, girl. Or did she disappear on me? She disappeared on me. Oh no, there she is. She's probably still working. But journaling, whatever works to get rid of stress, plays a big role in the bloating and gut health because it disrupts your breathing, causes you to swallow air, creates a little tension and bloating in the stomach, and then flips up your nervous system. That is what stress is. It disrupts the hormones and digestion, and that just gives you gas and bloating. So that's what we're trying to avoid with what I'm chatting about tonight. The really easier thing to do one of the easiest probably to do that not a lot of people do, include probiotic foods. So if you can do probiotic foods, yogurt, probably the easiest for anyone on this call is to get a little yogurt in. Kefir, I didn't love that, but I tried it. When I was really trying to tune up my digestion and I went on the total holistic approach. Did I tell you? I think I might have told you when I got the acid reflux the first time, it freaked me out because it felt like my nostrils were shutting down, my throat was shutting down, and they put me on Gap. I want to say it was Gaviscon, but I could be wrong. This was a while ago. But I went the natural route because the medication they gave me very depressed and suicidal feelings, and I was like, that's not me. I stopped taking it within 24 hours. I think I took one dose, and I was just like, this has a very negative effect. I got to figure out how to heal this naturally, and I'm definitely not quitting coffee. So I looked at ways to improve my digestion. Messed around with, started incorporating yoga regularly. Kefir, tried it, didn't like it at all. Sauerkraut, which I thought I was gonna hate because I would never even put sauerkraut on a hot dog when I was younger. I ended up falling like I loved sauerkraut. Kimchi, same thing. Just a little extra, a little spicy the one I was getting. Miso, anything that promotes healthy gut bacteria. So anything that's gonna just, and you could take a probiotic. That's one I think I mentioned on the when we talked supplements. Probiotics are definitely going to be, they're the thing is there's the amount of strains of probiotics are crazy. You can get vast different strains with different they'll have different effects on you and work different pathways. So I don't want to go down a rabbit hole in probiotics, but that's an easy one to take and just mix in your diet if you feel bloated at all regularly. Got any tea drinkers? She said depends.
Rarely.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, too.
Yeah, I love tea.
I'm trying to drink more tea. So herbal teas, peppermint, ginger, and chamomile, those soothe the digestive system. So that's going to definitely help calm the stomach, calm the bloat, and they're good. Just make sure if you drink tea at night, the caffeine-free kind. Caffeine-free. Watch out for that. Chewing gum.
Mm-hmm.
Did anyone know that could cause bloat?
No.
Yes.
Denise,
Yes. Actually stopped chewing gum.
you stopped chewing gum for that reason?
Yes.
It's fascinating. I had no clue.
And it seems to be working.
That's awesome. I didn't know if I'd get anybody,
Yeah.
but you don't even think about gum chewing. Like,
No. I would pop in gum in my mouth every time I went out for a run. Every time.
and
I don't anymore.
you just cut it out.
I did.
It actually caught, and especially since you're doing it while you're running,
Mhm.
it causes you to swallow air.
Right.
That leads to bloating. Like bloating is excess air in the stomach, and chewing gum is going to cause that. They also, gums are low calories, but they are tasty, so they've got artificial sweeteners, and that just can cause gas. So anytime you got too much on the artificial sweeteners, like I love Quest bars, but they've got that erythritol in there, I think it is, that's in those, and those bloat me up. I'm like, I'm eating this because it's 25 grams of protein or whatever it is. It's got low fat, low carb, and I'm just trying to bump up my protein, but that erythritol in there bloats me right up.
Yep.
Anything with stuff like that, I'm glad to hear that you not that, I mean, gum's a terrible thing, but if you're fighting bloat, gums could be, a potential culprit.
Yes.
You didn't replace it with anything either?
Nope. I thought I couldn't run without gum because it would help keep my mouth, from drying out. But I do sip water more often.
That is the worst feeling when you're running and you feel dried out.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that.
So far it seems to be working.
I get that, and I also have the opposite problem where I'm like, at that point, I'll overhydrate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going for a PR, and the next thing I know is, oh my gosh, I got a
Yeah.
potty, and
Go to the rest. Yeah, I know.
let's run faster to the restroom.
Mm-hmm.
Let's run faster. Another easy one, and I preach this all the time: get enough sleep, 7 to 9 hours, quality every night. Poor sleep affects the digestion, and you also tend to make less good food choices. Your brain, your brain's tired, and it's less it's less on guard. So like, oh, I'm just gonna grab this. I'm just gonna eat that, and it's easier to get out of hand when you're overtired. So enough rest crucial for the gut health. The bedtime routine I've talked about, just helps you wind down. Another thing you can do, to really, this one's a little trickier. So sleep should be easier. And I say that as a person with no children. So I see Kate's little one running in there, and I know she's got 3 kids. Like, probably gonna be a little less easy for Kate to get a full 7 or 8 hours at night. But try to get 7 to 9 if you can. But do some detective work. So this is a tricky one for you, but try to figure out what the trigger is. If you've got something that causes bloat, there's usually a culprit. Like I said, I know Mr. K's Chinese food. It's flipping delicious, but every time I end up bloated, and it's not even just like tummy bloat, like my face, I puff right up and it just bloats me, but it's delicious. So sometimes you gotta suck it up. I don't eat Chinese food all the time. We do it, once every 3 months and then regret it for another 2.5. But you can look at high FODMAP foods. So foods, and I will botch this. Thank God I took notes because I would have botched it anyway. Foods that are high in fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols, aka FODMAPs, can cause digestive discomfort and bloating for people. So they're a short chain carb found in certain fruits, vegetables, dairy, and wheat products. If you notice bloating after eating those foods, try reducing them and see if it makes a difference. So I'm working with somebody, and he was adamant. He started the year off with Whole30, which I said, if you're going for a healthy route and somebody says, I'm gonna try out, I just want to try out Whole30s, I would recommend for overall health because it's just natural food. It's one thing, I have nothing against where I'm like, all right, keto, I need carbs to run, fasting, I like to eat all day. Like, there's nothing to be wrong with all natural, like whole natural foods. So that's one where you eliminate things too during it. You're eliminating all that stuff, and you can start incorporating things back and see if it has a bad effect on your body. So don't go and that's what my poor guy did. He went on a trip with his wife and ate a burger, and he was like, I blew up. I actually gained 7 pounds in one day, and all I did was a burger. Lost it a day and a half later just by hydrating, but it was just the bloat went overboard. So cutting things out and then slowly reintroduce one thing. All right, I'm gonna start messing with that again. If that one thing triggers your bloat, take it back out, reintroduce something else. Oh, bloat's gone. This doesn't affect me negatively. So there's just different foods affect us all differently. Artificial sweetener, I kind of talked about that. Sugar, alcohols, erythritol, sorbitol, xylitol. Those definitely cause bloating. They cause gas. And anybody ever seen those Lenny and Larry's protein cookies? My wife has put a permanent ban on those. I'm not allowed to have the Lenny and Larry's protein cookies. She won't allow it. And she doesn't like when I have them. So we'll cut those out. I grew up on dairy. I think I've even talked about that before. Plastic cheese does cause bloat. Yes, because it's dairy. So we'll go with that. Um, we were going through gallons of milk growing up, and just milk. It does the body good. That's the thing. Milk, it does the body good. That was their motto. And I didn't realize until I cut out milk, and I don't even know why. I might have just been on my first, one of my first diet journeys, and I was trying to lose the weight, and I said, these are extra calories. I gotta get rid of them. And my 20 something year old, I had acne for the longest. That acne went away, and I was like, oh, I'm never drinking milk again. I and I very, very rarely do it, but sometimes, you know, bring some milk in. I get bloated almost immediately after I have it. So I mean, and there's plenty of like lactose-free options. I won't say almond milk is anywhere near as good as regular milk, but like oat milk, I'm good with oat milk. Lactose-free yogurt, and you're generally gonna know if you've got an issue with dairy. Your body's gonna tell you. That's definitely gonna give you a little clue there. Carbonated beverages. This is another one where it's tricky because if you come in and you tell me you eat, or you drink a liter of Coca-Cola every day, and like that's liter of Coca-Cola. Good thing my friend Adam's not on here. I was raving about his Coca-Cola hookup the other day. Now I'm gonna trash it, but I have a good amount of people that say, "Yeah, I drink a ton of Coca-Cola." So, liter of Coke, it says 100 calories per serving. I don't know about that. 140 calories. But you have a couple different ones of those a day, and bam, that cannot be right. Oh, single serving of it. So 155 on the calories. Now we know.
Is it still bad if it's carbonated, but like sparkling water with
So,
no
so
calories
that's
in
what I'm
it?
gonna get to.
Hi, Sam.
That's high. Were those Ewoks on that shirt? What was on that shirt?
Oh, I don't know. I think it's Nightmare Before Christmas.
Even better.
They all three of them have come in. Is that Nightmare Before Christmas? Yeah.
I like it. I
Come
like
here,
it a lot.
come here, show Tommy shirt. Yeah. Yeah,
Nice.
to dress up like a candy cane for some spirit day. Okay.
A plus. A plus. I was wondering about that. I'm like, it is definitely not holiday season, but okay.
Oh yeah, no, all year round.
So what I was gonna say there, where I was getting to before I tangent, if you're somebody that's drinking that much Coca-Cola a day and taking in a ton of calories, I'm gonna see if I could switch you over to a carbonated drink like sparkling water, or what is that brand? What is that brand? That
La Croix.
the what?
La Croix.
No, I read something about that. I'm not having that one. I'm not having that one. Somebody said there was some kind of ingredients in there that I didn't agree with. But if we're switching from a Coke into that, that's going to be a win. But that's something that could cause a little bloating. Traps gas, the carbonation traps gas in the digestive system, leads to the bloating, leads to the discomfort. So again, it's a lesser of two evils a lot of times, and I'd like a good carbonated drink. I'll deal with a little bit of bloat from time to time. High sodium foods, that's too much sodium, going to give you water retention. My Chinese food makes you feel bloated. So watch your salt intake. But again, we're looking at the scales on things. A lot of y'all are runners. A lot of you run, and you might need to take in a little extra salt because you're sweating. You know, Val going to do a 15K this weekend. She's going to get a little extra sweaty. So, do we got 15K this weekend?
No, that was last
That
weekend.
was last weekend. I thought you were going to do another one.
No, not this weekend. This one I have like 4 miles, and the next one I have like a million. I don't remember.
I have a million. The last one, I think, just food sensitivities. So watch out for anything, you know, anything new you introduce. If it makes you feel a little funny, it's elimination diet's kind of boring, but some people that say try that out. That's where you go very basic and then just add things back in. See how your body's supposed to feel. Add a little in. Add a little something back in, and just keep, if it upsets the stomach, if it makes you bloated, if you spend too much time in the restroom after eating it, that might be something you want to avoid. And you can get, and now we live in a time where you can actually get tests like a food sensitivity test. Forgot the name of it. Now I have to Google. But you send it out. It's Viome. It's a gut intelligence test. So discover your gut's response to 300 foods and receive personalized information on like what that looks like for you. What might your body not agree with? We did that on Kim a couple years ago, and it was interesting to see what. Of course, it was spicy foods, and you don't tell my wife you're not gonna have spicy food. It just doesn't happen. Doesn't happen. Those were all of them I had on there. That's it. Remember, like everyone's unique. What bothers my stomach might not bother you. What bloats me might not bloat you. Just watch the body singles and wow, it is 7:26. I thought I was gonna like leave time for questions and stuff, but what do we got? What do we got for me? 4 minutes before I prep for Survivor. I got to shower before the show. Does that give you clarity on bloating and what you can do? Yes. Somebody else.
Yes.
What are our goals? What are our goals? Give me should I go goal or win? Somebody give me your win for the week. That's how I want to round us up tonight. What's the big goal?
I completed the half.
You completed the half.
I ran 13.1 miles on Sunday.
13.1.
I completed the challenge with bronchitis.
With bronchitis. You look like you're feeling better now.
I'm getting there. Yeah, I still have this cough. Oh my god. But yeah, I'm definitely on the mend. Not 100% yet, but yeah.
You're still perfect though.
I am, right?
You're still perfect.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was a little bit scary when I started feeling feverish the night before, and I wasn't sure how I was gonna feel when I got up. So I'm glad it was a good outcome.
That would stress me out more than anything.
Yeah, it just keeps getting harder and harder, and it's for stupid, like it's not stupid reasons, but like my knee felt good, but then I go and like my lungs are like dying, you know? So
felt good, lungs are dying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
yep.
That's the struggle. I mean, but you did it.
Yeah,
I would trust the perfect fact. Like then I'd feel like I could never, you can't ever miss it.
I know.
As long as you can do it, you have to keep going to do it.
Right. I know.
That's how that damn mouse gets you.
Happily giving money to the mouse.
Happily giving it to him. MJ hit nutrition goals 2 days in a row. Hell yeah. 3 days. She must be pulling up her charts. I love it. You led a group hike. Where did you hike?
In Okeechobee County.
Nice. That's something I feel like I should do more. I did that when I was in Connecticut a good amount. Did that in Connecticut. Now it's just like, I don't know. I don't know anywhere to hike around here.
Florida Trail. Look it up online. It's about 1,500 miles through the whole state.
There's plenty of hiking places down there.
There's plenty of what?
There are plenty of places to go hiking down there.
Yeah, man, I'm like, grew up north. Like the worst critter I see is a deer. What's out there?
Alligators.
Gators, coyotes.
Oh, nope.
You might see a bear. You might see a bear if you're lucky.
Yeah,
Fire ants.
I would go against the bear before I went against the alligator. I would feel my odds are better against a bear than an alligator. Those things freak me out. I grab my little puppy and keep him away from the water when we go walk. Nope. And meanwhile, I watched a little video of that lunatic was it Mike Tyson. The dude used to sleep with his tigers. Somebody's been hit in the head a few too many times if you share a bed with a tiger. But yeah, I don't mess with gators. There's panthers out there.
In parts of Florida, yeah.
You crazy. Well, you know what you got to do, right? If you're on that group hike, Just make sure
What's
make sure you're faster than the slowest person.
Well, that's why I let it.
Perfect. Beautiful. That's it. So just like when you're trying to get away from the balloon, ladies. Shoot it in the other group chat on the app. What you want me to cover on Monday night. Let me know what we want to talk about, what I could fill your brain with, and what I can nerd out with between now and then. So I like to nerd out a little bit. And once I finish typing this whole thing up, I'm gonna upload it to that chat. That way you got little references on what we just talked about and all that good stuff. Now I'm gonna go get bloated and eat tacos. Talk to y'all soon.
Hi, thank you.
Bye.
Good night.